All right, so welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Today, we're doing something a little different.
Oh,
Yeah, usually we've got, articles or interviews to look at, but today it's all about the pictures.
pictures.
Hmm.
Intriguing. What kind of pictures are we talking about?
Well, they're from the USA Fencing website, actually.
Fancy.
Day 3 of the November North American Cup, big tournament. But the article itself, it's basically just a photo recap. So that's our challenge today. What can we learn about fencing just by looking at these photos?
Fascinating. It's like we're visual detectives piecing together a story from these frozen moments in time.
Exactly. So let's dive in, shall we?
Let's.
Okay, first impressions. I mean, wow, the intensity just jumps out at you.
Right.
You've got these fencers lunging, parrying. Their faces are just pure concentration.
It's incredible how these photos capture the raw energy of the sport.
Yeah, like you can practically feel the electric atmosphere in the
Yeah.
room. It's palpable.
And the athleticism. Look at the way these fencers move, the precision and agility. They're like coiled springs ready to strike.
And it's not just physical either. There's this one photo where one fencer looks completely caught off guard by their opponent's move.
Oh, I see that one.
Like you can almost see the wheels turning in their head as they try to figure out what to do next.
It highlights the strategic depth of fencing. Each movement is calculated, a tactical decision.
It's like chess, but with swords.
Precisely.
Oh, and there's a shot here of a fencer who's just scored a point. Their mask is off and they've got this huge grin on their face, pure joy and relief.
But in the background, you see another fencer, head down, obviously disappointed.
The contrast is powerful. You really get a sense of the emotional roller coaster that comes with competing at this level.
Exactly. These photos remind us that fencing isn't just about physical skill, it's about mental fortitude, focus, resilience.
Speaking of different levels, I'm noticing some variations in the equipment too. Different types of swords, protective gear.
Ah, yes. We're seeing foil, épée, and saber, the three weapons used in modern fencing,
Each with its own set of rules and target areas.
which adds a whole other layer of complexity to the sport, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. So we've got intensity, athleticism, strategy, emotion, specialized equipment.
It paints a pretty compelling picture of fencing, doesn't it?
It really does. So what are our big takeaways here?
Well, for me, it's clear that fencing is a multifaceted sport. It demands both physical and mental mastery, a blend of technique, strategy, and psychological strength.
And while these photos showcase the intensity of a high-level competition like the NAC,
Right.
fencing isn't just for elite athletes, is it?
No, not at all. There are all sorts of levels within the sport, which actually leads to a really interesting question. Does the intensity we see in these photos reflect typical fencing practice? Or is it heightened because of the stakes of the tournament?
That is a good question. Makes you wonder about the different levels of commitment and intensity within the world of fencing. Something for our listeners to ponder, perhaps. And if anyone out there is interested in learning more about those different levels, or maybe even trying fencing themselves, we encourage you to check out the USA Fencing website. We'll include the link in the show notes.
Excellent idea.
And with that, our visual deep dive into the world of fencing comes to an end.
Until next time.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and keep exploring.